everyone, it's me, Devin. I am here today to talk about Ryan Murphy's new movie on Netflix, The Prom. I feel like I am particularly qualified to talk about this because one, I am a huge fan of theater, especially Broadway, and two, I am a huge fan of film and love to study film and talk about it. And so here I am talking about this. So, The Prom is an adaptation of a musical, and I never got a chance to see it, but I heard it was very good and very well received by those who did see it. Overall, I really liked this movie. I thought it just made me feel so good and so wholesome and inspired, and I really think this is a movie for not just supporters of the LGBT community. Yes, I mean it is for them, but also I think it is for everyone because it just makes you feel good, and I think after the year we've all had, we can all use a film that will just make us feel good. I am a sucker for lighting. It's one of the first things I notice when I watch a film. They used several different colors, which I thought was very creative and fit in well with the LGBT nature of the story. And I also loved how the lighting wasn't in the shot necessarily. It was more just in the background and ambient, if you will. And I really liked that. It wasn't nearly as distracting and jarring as if there was a light in the shot. Let's talk about the performances because I'm sure that's what most people are wondering about because, man, they had a star studded cast. First, we'll start with Meryl Streep. I think all of her performances will at least be good. How much they vary on being good depends on the movie, I think, but she is always at least good. and I thought she was good, if not great, in this movie. I think she totally carries this movie, which I'm sad about because I love Nicole Kidman, which I will discuss a little later. But I thought Meryl Streep was great. I thought her singing was really good and her dancing was great. I have seen this movie multiple times since it came out, and I was looking her up and reading her biography, and boy, did you guys know that she is 72? I was so blown away by that. Alright, now on to James Corden. I have read and heard several things that are really dogging on him and saying that he was offensive and condescending in his portrayal of a gay man. And as a gay man myself, I found nothing condescending or offensive about his portrayal. Where I thought his problem lied was his accent. I thought in making his American accent, he was maybe trying too hard. I don't know, but that's what it seems like, and so maybe that's why his performance didn't quite land as people were hoping. Anyway, I thought his singing was great, and I thought his acting was great. That, from what I understand, part of his storyline was added to the movie. Then on to Nicole Kidman. I love Nicole Kidman. I will watch anything she does, which reminds me, if any of you have watched The Undoing, tell me in the comments how it was and how her performance was, because I haven't watched that yet, but I really want to. I thought she did not have nearly as much screen time as she deserves. I think her career has warranted her big roles, and I thought this was not big enough for her talent. But from what I did see of her, she was great. Her singing was fine. Her dancing and acting were good. I think I always actually feel like when she does an American accent, something is off. I don't know if I'm the only one who feels like that. Having said that, though, I love her. Andrew Reynolds is a Broadway guy, and so I'm familiar with him through that. And man, I think he is great. I think he is so cool. If you saw the Boys in the Band movie, which also came out this year and is also made by Ryan Murphy and is also from Broadway. Then we have Keegan Michael Key. His singing I thought was it was fine. It wasn't like great, but it was good. It wasn't distracting. I just watched Key and Peele's sketch of the family going to a gay wedding and not knowing how to act. And so it was really fascinating for me to watch this, where he is advocating for a lesbian girl to go to prom. It makes me think that he is very a very strong advocate for the LGBT community, which I think is very nice. Anyway, he was he was good. Then finally, rounding out the star-studded cast is Kerry Washington, and she is great, especially up against these heavy hitters like Meryl Streep and Nicole Kidman. I really was so impressed by Kerry Washington, and man, can she sing? She really only has one scene where her voice is heard by itself, and it was great. I was so surprised and so impressed with how good her voice was, and her acting is great. I was so impressed with her. I was surprised. And then I will touch on the two main stars of this movie, Ariana DeBose, who is a Broadway veteran. You will see her in the new West Side Story coming up, and then Joe Ellen Pellman, who plays Emma, the main character in this movie. She was good. This is her first major motion picture, and I thought she might have been a little too green for this movie. She has kind of a permanent smile, it seems. And I mean, I get it. If I was working with Meryl Streep and James Corden and Nicole Kidman, I would have a permanent smile on my face, but it made it seem like her acting wasn't quite up to par. With that being said, I thought she had a nice voice and the right look for Emma. I never saw the show when it was on Broadway, but from what I know of it and the clips I've seen, she has the right look. So I think she was the right person for the part. Maybe I would have just waited until she had done some other films. However, I could be totally wrong. I'm not an actor, and so I could be totally misreading her. Anyway, this was my review of the prom. I think everyone should check this out on Netflix. Again, like I said, not just people who are interested in the subject matter, but like whole families. I think this is a wholesome, feel good movie that anyone would like. Anyway, thank you for watching this. When you watch the movie, come back and tell me what you think about it. I'm curious to know. In case you can't tell, I really enjoyed it and will probably watch it again or even a couple more times. We'll see. Anyway, thank you. Bye.